So I get this question asked a lot. How do you create a faith-based culture in your organization? First, kind of like the law of the lid, it starts with you, your decision to follow Christ. I decided to follow Christ decades ago, and it's funny how God uses things in your life to lead you there. I wish it was as an incredible story as Ian's was, but I love to read. And my theology, I would call it like mythology, if you want to say it. My theology before coming to Christ was I just needed to be a little bit better than the last guy going to hell. Wow. I always wondered, I was like, how did I know who's the last guy going to hell, right? What was that all about? Okay, so, but I was like, well, I ought to, if I love to read, I ought to read the most widely published book in the world, the Bible. And as I read the Bible, I was convicted that all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. And I got on my knees and accepted Christ. And as you lead your organization, here's the question I've got for you. Do you lead by the wisdom of the world or God's wisdom? There's this great verse in 1 Corinthians. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness in God's sight. So as a business owner, a small business owner, it's tough. You guys who raised your hands, I know how tough it is. You're dealing with HR issues and tax issues and bank issues and employee issues and the latest government compliance stuff. It's tough. And I always wanted the formula. Just tell me the formula to be a faith-based company. Just tell me the formula to create enterprise. Just tell me the formula so I can move on and do it quickly. I'm not going to give you a formula. I'm going to give you 3 questions. When was the last time you got your hands dirty at work? Quick story here. We had a huge project, Huron Valley Women's Prison. We did a lot of homeland security projects, a lot of prison work. Largest deal we did at Midstate. It was, I think the original was like $8 million, and I think it turned into a $15 million project. So fence lines, security, cameras. They wanted all the storage to be on site. It was a massive project, and we were behind. We were significantly behind. And we had a performance bond related, so if we didn't get this thing done on time, it was going to be a problem. So we needed more manpower. And to work in a prison, obviously, you got to have a background check. And you just can't get anybody to go work at a prison. Because I owned the company, I already had a background check. So I told the project manager, I said, I'm coming out tomorrow. So I got in my car, and it's in Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti area. So it's a 2-hour drive. I got up early, got my blue jeans on, and guess what? I worked in the fence line. I dug a trench, I bent pipe, and I threaded pipe. 98-degree heat, 55 years old. Guess what? My team loved it. Interesting, because we're digging around the fence line. You gotta have guards, right? So one of the guards comes up to me and goes, "Hey, can I talk to you?" "Sure, you can talk to me." He goes, How long have you been with the company?" So I've been with the company about 10 years. He goes, No. How long have you been doing this? I said, "What time is it?" He goes, it's like 10 o'clock. So I've been doing this for about 3 hours. He goes, "What do you do for the company?" I said, "I'm the owner." He goes, "That's it. This is Undercover Boss, okay? This is Undercover Boss." And I look at him and I go, "Wow." I said, what was the giveaway? He goes, "I've never seen a technician use hair gel." Okay, so moral of the story is, okay, if you're Undercover Boss, don't use hair gel. Okay? And I went back another day. And the team loved it because they knew one thing. I was in it with them.